Hello there, my name is Retro. Like to talk about animation. Today we're going to talk about Scott versus. Now, you may have heard of Scott versus the Universe, Scott versus the Earth, Scott versus Evil 7. Depends where you live, the name sort of changes, just Scott versus. And this franchise actually based on very popular Canadian manga who got a chance to have a movie back in the not early 2000s, late 2000s, that it come out in theaters, a sort of bomb, it became sort of a cult classic, and decided to make a video game that become also a cult classic, and then right now, this year alert 2023, they made an anime. And this anime is pretty good, but it's divisive because it sort of depends what entry you came in. You came in the manga section, or you came in the movie section, or you came in the video game section, because each three franchises actually fall into different ways to take the material and make it a little bit different. What I mean is, one of the major difference is the pacing. If you watch the movie, you expect really fast pacing. And the manga, it doesn't have very fast pacing. It's sort of slow, chill. I mean, the pacing feels like a slice of life because Scott versus is sort of a slice of life kind of manga with fighting styles. In fact, not just fighting styles, it's sort of amalgamation of so many little things. It's basically like a pop culture kind of respect genre bender now where it's in the manga. And they technically to do something very similar in the movie, but it's more faster pacing up there. But the only difference is it's more chill on the manga, and decide to take the anime the same direction because the anime has this sort of chill, relaxed, slow pacing to understand the characters and what they think they're doing and why they're sort of horrible. Because Scott versus really, a lot of people don't realize all the characters are kind of terrible. I mean, they really are, but they're very funny terrible. They sort of, you understand why they sort of act a sort of specific way, how interact with each other, that sort of things happen, and they just chill, just move on, and that's how the manga really is. The movie is a little different because they have 2 hours or less than 2 hours to basically give you all the information, but the anime took a little bit different direction because in the story, Scott had to face each Simo X to date, or at least understand Ramona, her situation, while her all 7 exes trying to compete and grab her attention. And Scott sort of stuck and dragged into this. He doesn't want to, but the more he does, the more things change. The more he fights, the more he understands Ramona, but also understands himself to become a more better person. Because Scott is an asshole who runs away with responsibility. He's a full-grown adult that he doesn't fit his responsibility. He's avoiding it constantly. In fact, his friends point out dozens of times on the movie or the manga or the game. But this is the thing, they just twist something completely different. They went to sort of a different route. They still, Scott fights of the 7 evil exes is that it became sort of a mystery of what happened to Scott for a small amount of the anime. That he sort of dies. Like, that's sort of surprising, but be honest, I never read that much in the manga, so I don't know if he actually does die in the manga. I think he does for a little while, but they took that as a premise and used as one of the arcs in the anime. So it's one of those that took you off for a second, understanding what they're trying to do. But all of that, it's fine, it's enjoyable, it's something that is just different, but something else does grab you is the acting, specifically the voice actors. That they're not really voice actors, they're actors from the movie that just rehired to redo their part again. That sounds a really good idea to please the fans, but at the same time, no. I mean, they do a great job, but they obvious they're not great voice actors. They're great actors, but not voice actors, because you do notice sometimes they say a sarcastic line or sort of phrasing, but they don't have emphasis inside. They have to say a certain way to give it more punch, more leeway, more sense to understand the character. Of course, if you don't know, when you do voice acting, you only have maybe 4 or 5 tries the line. If you can't do it, you're fired. So yeah, you get the idea. In live action, you have more time to practice and deliver your line, and voice acting doesn't. So you have to have perfect timing for perfect speech to land the joke or the sort of feeling they're trying to say, the sort of emotion. And that's the thing I feel though all the actors struggle. Not all of them. Like I think Knives and X number two, this the only two actors understand this is voice acting. They have to emote when they have to say specific things of their own words. The rest of the cast they do fine, but you do notice like the performance lags a little bit. They need a little bit more emphasis. But once more, maybe they're sort of new at this and they just don't grasp it completely. It takes time. But all of that could be a downgrade for you if it bothers you. If it does, I just recommend just change the dub to something else like Japanese or Spanish like me, because usually Spanish actors really give 110% because they work a lot voice acting. So they have something brand new, they nail it in seconds. So yeah, I recommend Spanish or Japanese if you want to have a good experience. Now the animation, oh my god, the animation was great. That's the thing you need to applaud. The animation, direction, camera work, all the different ideas, how to follow a character, it's done pretty well. Except for maybe one or two fight scenes I feel was sort of But other than that, this adaptation was good. Not amazing, could be divisive. In fact, I'm 100% sure some of you quite didn't like it. In fact, you could say I didn't like it how I described the problems in this show. You have to say, no, I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. That's what I'm trying to say. I liked it, but it kind of threw me off because I was expecting something copy and paste. Yeah, I prefer to be surprised than given the same thing over and over again. But all of that, I feel it's fine, enjoyable. In fact, it gives more time to the rest of the cast to get to know, because in the movie, you really don't have much time to understand some of the characters, why they act a certain way, against the manga, who actually have so much time to develop sort of other side, other side of the characters. You understand why they act a certain way, why they have to do this. In the movie, they don't have much time. They just have one, two jokes. You get to know them and get out. And the anime has a lot of time, so you get to know them even more. And the reason why they act, the reason why Scott is an asshole, why Ramona acts a certain way, or why the certain characters don't like other characters. You get like the dynamic of the whole group, and it's done pretty well. I mean, it's not amazing, but you will enjoy it. You will have fun. Only if you just only read the manga, never watched the movies, you probably be more pleasant and surprised. I'm hoping, or not. Maybe you're one of the people who just watch the movie. You expect it to be the same thing as the anime. No, they changed a lot of things in the anime, but it's more kind of based on the manga. It's more accurate in other words, to be more specific. Other than that, I really can't complain. I did enjoy it. In fact, I'd be not surprised that people kind of disagree with me because maybe they didn't have a great time. But all that's my opinion of this. I do recommend it. But of course, recommend just watch 2 episodes. The first episode, it completely tells the original story of the movie, but after the second episode, they switch it up. It's the second episode that you will enjoy it or you hated it. Now I have the question, do you like this new adaptation of Scott Versus? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Tell me down below. Let me know. Honestly, I can't say much. Just good luck for it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.